Maxie, I am here. I am in the office. You are in Sydney.
I'm back in Sydney. It's been a big
You've been
week.
in the skies this week,
Yes, I have.
and it's been lot. You know what we say every week. They're busy. They're getting busier. Look, we're just hanging on. We're just hanging on
Hanging
and
on
riding
by
the wave.
one fingertip.
Yes. So it's been an incredible week, an incredibly proud week, and we're going to be able to tell everyone all about it.
Yeah, it's very exciting. So let's get into it. First things first, Lee, is the quote.
Go for it, Maxie. This is very appropriate this week.
Yep, so the quote this week for everyone out there, it always seems impossible until it's done. And that's true.
Yes.
Very true.
Ah, tell you what, we're skinning it. We're skidding in by the skin of our teeth on so many things at the minute, but we're getting it done, and that's
We are
all
getting
that
it done.
matters. It's
Um,
all that matters.
yeah, there's so much to cover. So we'll go straight into the good news and run back to kindness. And
Exactly.
we could tell everyone what has been happening.
Yes, go for it, Maxie.
Yes, plenty of good news this week, Lee. We'll kick
Yes.
it off with how good Tuesday was.
What a day. So, to explain to people how this came about, I had a meeting about, would have only been 3 weeks ago, Maxie. I went into the city and I had a meeting with a gentleman who has a very official title, the Honourable Mr. Curtis Pitt, who is the Speaker of the Legislative Assembly for Queensland Parliament, which basically, I actually learnt this week, he actually takes responsibility for the House physically as
Yeah,
well as literally.
he
So
looks after everything.
exactly. So incredibly important man, but more important, an incredibly kind man. So gave us this opportunity to hold on Tuesday what they call is a showcase,
Showcase,
and we
yeah.
got the opportunity to showcase Live, Learn, Survive and the work we do to every single member of Parliament in Queensland, and they were all invited to meet us.
Yeah, and it was really cool to step foot into that building. Obviously, it's a special place. A lot of decisions get made, and a lot of topics get brought up. And the fact that we got to set up in the premier's room,
Yes.
and you look around the room and you see all the portraits of old premiers, and it's just a special place. It's weird to say special, but it was a special place because there's a lot going on behind the scenes to keep the country and the state running.
Yeah.
And the fact that we had MPs come in to see what Live, Learn, Survive was all about, it was very exciting. And also, I appreciated all the MPs that did come in that gave
Yes.
myself, Andrew, and Jack the
Yep.
time to learn and to understand what we do and what our mission and goals are. So
Yeah.
yeah, it was
Yeah.
really
And
good.
like you say, like this room too. There's a little, there's a few snippets on social media, but it's got portraits of all the premiers, of all the people that have made really important decisions. So there's so much history in that room, and in true Live, Learn, Survive style, we turn up with all our toys, and then you start chucking the throwbag around,
Yeah,
which is
start
just
chucking the
great.
throwbag.
It's like got the
Yeah.
MPs tied up in a rescue tube, and it's like, this is what we do, people.
It was really good, and the fact that a number of MPs have pretty much don't want to get too ahead of ourselves to that we're locked in, but a lot of the MPs that did come in kind of matched what the Honourable Mr. Speaker Curtis Pitt has done, is donated or supported or
Yep.
sponsored 5 schools in his electorate, which is up near
Yep.
Cairns. So a lot of the MPs that came in got to try and follow suit. So it's amazing for us to be able to have the opportunity to go to some of these areas in Queensland to be able to educate kids and young adults around water safety, fire safety, first aid, and resilience. So
Absolutely. Conversations have been started.
exactly right.
And
Um,
yeah, you did absolutely an amazing job, Maxie. It was a fly in, fly out. You literally hit the runway, and we're in the fast car to Parliament House. And
Everything
before
just
you
ran so
blinked, you
smoothly.
were back on that runway, and you were home in
Yeah.
time for a cocoa and a
So I come off shift.
sleep in your own bed.
I come off shift that morning, and I raced
Yeah.
straight from the fire station to the airport. The flight was on time. Andrew picked me up from the airport.
Yeah.
Everything ran so smoothly. There was no traffic. We set
Mm.
up, we bumped in, and we did a great talk. And sometimes, as people that listen to the podcast from week to week, you do hear we do have some horror stories,
Yeah.
some unfortunate events when it comes to traveling.
Yes.
But it was to get in there was smooth. Getting home, which is a different story. I'll talk about that in the unfortunate event. But I'm sure you got a great unfortunate event this week, Lee, which we'll
Oh,
talk about
absolute
shortly.
cracker. So thank you, Virgin, for
Thank
the 10 minutes early arrival. That 10 minutes was very important. Thank you.
And just before we go into other things, I did a really cool podcast yesterday, which
Yes.
it's called Little Fish, and basically they're one of the leading podcasts in Australia.
Yep.
And it was exciting to want to learn the Live, Learn, Survive story, a little bit of the story about how I become a lifeguard and gone into the fireys. And yeah, it was really cool to collaborate with them. So in the future, when that does come out, I'll share it across things, and we can get little snippets of learning more about Live, Learn, Survive for everyone out there that
Absolutely.
does follow.
Absolutely. Good job, Maxie. It's been a busy week talking the talk.
Have you got some good news stories?
I found a nice little story online. So basically, a 92-year-old man started living his healthy lifestyle in his 70s. So if you think that, whatever age you are and you think you've left whatever it is too late, this is the story for you.
True.
So he just broke the Grand Canyon world record. So he basically, at 76, he started to think he needed to get his act together. He changed his diet. He drank more water and walked daily. And then he visited, I'm going to say this wrong, Machu Picchu, and then Mount Everest Base Camp, and then the Grand Canyon. Sadly, his wife passed away. They did a lot of traveling together. But then as part of his healing process, he decided to start traveling again. And this is when he tried to beat the world record for the oldest person across the Grand Canyon. So in January 2023, he began training by taking 8-mile walks daily. And then he broke the record. And the thing is, he said, it healed him. He stayed focused. He finished the hike. He met awesome people on the way around. But the most important thing is, at 76 years old, he changed his life by being healthy.
That's awesome.
So if you think you're in your 30s and you maybe left it a bit in your 40s, in your 50s, take it, Mr. Alfredo Bordillo is now 92. You can change it. So if you were thinking, you left it too late, Alfredo told us we didn't.
We didn't.
It could be a whatever you call it, a world record thingy, that book. Yes, that one. Could be inside of you. So, there you go. Good news story. Never too late.
Thank you.
Thanking you. All right. What do we got next, Maxie?
Job of the week.
Oh.
Yes, it's been quite steady at the fire station and quite steady at the lifeguards. They've just finished filming Bondi Rescue. So it's officially the busy season or busy period's kind of over. Everyone's back at work. Everyone's back at school. People are traveling back home to the other countries.
Yes.
We've still got another couple of weeks of summer left in Australia. But after that, it's starting to wind down a little bit. So the lifeguards hasn't been too crazy. We've got a couple of shifts next week.
Yeah.
And the fire has been steady, so it's been good. When we're steady, it means no one's having an unfortunate event. So
exactly, and I think you know what, you're right. People have been out for the summer. They've done the thing. They're starting to head back across, and all the rest of that. And it's been such a busy summer. And like you say, when it's steady, then it's better. And I was watching Ambulance last night. I saw the work of our lovely friend Ben. So
Ben King.
Yeah,
champion.
I was watching that last night. So he's obviously switched from the beach to the Ambos. So good on you, Ben.
Good on you, Benny.
So yeah, and also Maxie, I was just thinking before we go any further, Who are you catching up with today? That's great news.
Oh, yeah, that is great news. Yes.
Ah,
Rob, Polish Rob, Baltic Rescue Rob. He's in Bondi, and I'm going to catch up with him this afternoon and show him around the lifeguard tower. And we're going to have a bit of a chat and get some photos. And yeah, so
absolutely.
the old school squad member, we don't really call
Yeah.
it the squad anymore, but the Skills for Life member, Rob is in Bondi, and we're going to catch up with him. So
And you know what? Probably Rob's been mentioned on this podcast more than anybody because at the end of it, we gauge how long because we know Rob times his runs for this.
he
So
does.
I want to know when you're going to go running together. So,
Yeah,
so
well,
you
maybe
need
not
to
today
show
because
him
it's
that.
raining, unfortunately. It's raining today. But yeah, when I do see him, hopefully he has a good time. I'm going to show him around the lifeguard tower, take him for a ride on the bike and have a bit of fun. So
Yeah.
it'll be good to
And I
see him.
get to meet him in a couple of weeks, which is
Yeah,
awesome. So,
we
so
both
yeah.
get to, and we're doing a podcast with him in a couple of weeks as
We
well.
are, absolutely. All right, sorry, I just remembered that bit. We're going a bit all over the shop today. Back to the plan, Maxie, sorry.
Back to the plan.
Yeah.
So, unfortunate event.
Mm.
I'll let you kick it off, Lee.
Well, did I call this the ultimate unfortunate event? I think it's going to be a long time till we top this one, Maxie.
A long
So,
time.
you know, I had my most amazing trip on Hamilton Island, and it was just spectacular. Came home feeling $1 million, but came home with a little friend.
COVID. You can't say the C word anymore.
It's still around, my friend.
It's still around.
It's lurking in corners when you don't expect it. And tried desperately to race the clock and get well.
For the Parliament event.
So you had to go to Parliament. Probably the greatest, you know, not we've had many great things, but the most prestigious opportunity we had to speak to people about what we do. And I left you flying so low.
And you know what? When we first heard the news that you were going to have to maybe postpone or cancel the event on the Sunday morning, I was, thinking, health is wealth. We need to focus on the February 29th event.
Yeah.
There's always maybe next time we can showcase in Parliament. Yeah. It's kind of like that mindset. And then, we both were disappointed because, we worked so hard to get to the right room and finally we're in the right room and you're sick. And we kind of said, all right, well, let's postpone it. And then we actually you messaged Curtis to say,
Mr.
look,
Speaker.
Mr. Speaker, to change it. And
said,
he actually
Houston,
said, no.
We have maybe a problem. We don't have a problem.
He said, no, you know what? Still come up. I'll give you a hand. I'll take 2 hours out of my day to make sure that you're comfortable and you're looked after. So we decided there and then, Sunday evening, that I was still going to fly business as usual. We just shuffled a few things around. Big shout out to Andrew, your husband, and Jacqueline, for coming along and helping out. And Curtis for making me feel very welcome as well and encouraging people in his speech in Parliament to get as many MPs into the room as possible. And I think we had about 20 to 25 come through and all from all parts of Queensland, which is great. And it was a unfortunate event, but the positive thing is we know that you were working behind the scenes, Lee, making sure all the logistics was running smoothly, and it was a very successful day. And what comes with that is us going to schools.
The team. Yes.
Yeah.
But it was like, whoa, that thing, what did Top Gun say? You never leave your wingman, Maxie. It was never. Anyway, but we got through it.
From a negative situation, we turned it into a positive, and now we can fully primarily focus on the February 29th event. So it'll be great.
It's very, very close now. So, yes. So that was mine. What about you?
Yeah, so mine's not too bad, not as bad as that. But obviously, I think me and you planned to have maybe lunch or a meeting after Parliament if everything was running smoothly. So obviously that wasn't the case. And Andrew's a busy man. He had to get back to work.
Yeah.
And which is cool. I had to get dropped off at the airport earlier. So getting dropped off at the airport earlier, my flight was at 6. I got to the airport at 3 or 2:33. I went straight to the desk and asked if I can move a flight forward. Yeah,
Yes.
Mr. Maxwell, no worries. There's a flight at 5 o'clock.
Oh,
Sweet as.
champion.
So as I'm changing the flight, I look on the board and I see that the 5 o'clock flight's pushed back to 5:45. So I'm like, oh, so I'm flying early, but realistically it's only 15, 20 minutes earlier.
Silly.
But it gets funnier because as I'm watching the board, my original flight at 6:05 hasn't changed, not delayed, nothing. Everything was running smoothly. And the flight that I changed to an hour and a half before was delayed till 6:30. So the flight that initially I should have been on left 25 minutes before I flew out of Brisbane. And
That's not
the
ideal.
unfortunate event in that is there was a number of people from you know what Americans are like. They tell you where they're from. There was a few
Yes.
Americans on the plane
Yes.
complaining that
Oh.
they had to get a connecting international flight in Sydney,
Oh.
which they already missed.
Yes.
But I always think to people, look, people that fly so close, domestic flights so close to an international flight, you got to give yourself. This is where my anxiety sets in. You need to give yourself at least 4 or 5
we
hours.
don't do that, do we, Maxie? When
No.
we travel, we
You
like
need to give
be
yourself
there
2
early.
hours, 2 hours of delays, and you need to give yourself 2 hours of customs and check-in. So it's 4 or 5 hours minimum. But these guys thinking half an hour to an hour. It's like, no.
No, it's not ideal. No. You can't do that, people. Give yourself plenty of time. That's why we can travel together, Maxie, because we're both the early people.
Yeah, have to be early. Have to be early.
Absolutely.
But
Okay,
anyway,
so
but yeah, so dad jokes. We're through it.
okay, let's
through
come
that.
on. We're off over that. All right.
Okay, what have you got for us?
Okay, I've got one. You'll like this one. It's on brand for you. Did you hear about the smoke detector that went off at the monastery?
No, I didn't hear what happened.
It turned out it was just a fryer drill.
Oh, they're
You
good.
can
the fire
take that
jokes.
to the boys of
I
Sea
will.
Platoon
I'll take it strong.
with love from me. Okay, what do you got for me?
Did you hear that laughing too loudly is illegal in Hawaii?
Oh no, I didn't. Why?
They only permit a low ha.
Oh. Okay, very good, very good. And next one for you then, Maxie. What kind of coffee does the Godfather drink?
Piccolo.
No, an Al Pacino.
What a man Al Pacino is.
Yay, that's a cracker.
Last one. My dream job, Lee,
Yes.
is to clean mirrors.
Oh, really? Okay.
Because I can really see myself doing that. Every week they're getting worse and worse and worse.
Give the people what they want. Absolutely. Right. Okay. So moving on. What have we got now, Maxie? What are we on to now?
Yes, tip of the week this week, Lee, is river safety. I was very fortunate enough to film this video about 2 months ago with Ben out at Liverpool, out Georges River.
Yep.
It's a very important water safety message. So I talk about the hidden dangers, talk about how to use life-saving equipment. And yeah, it's a good video. So people that are part of the Live, Learn, Survive Skills for Life program, you'll be able to see this video as you go through from week to week, the videos that we have.
Amazing. And thanks so much for Ben for helping us out with that. And great location. I know I keep saying it, but it is a brilliant location.
Yeah,
Good
so
spot.
it had all the hidden dangers there. It had the slips, trips and falls. You had the bridge. You had murky water. You had the currents. So yeah, it was really, really interesting. And a lot of people don't realise that more people drown in Australia inland than they do on the coast.
Exactly.
So we're really trying to push that number down across Australia and across the world as well, that inland water tragedies do happen. So you just need to be safe around any sort of water. And I'll be pinning the river safety video to Instagram for people to have a watch and have a look, as well as the RIP video.
Good job, team. Amazing. Well done. Okay.
While we're there, Spotify playlist for Live, Learn, Survive, due to copyright reasons on YouTube, we can't play the songs anymore, unfortunately.
I just remembered we're videoing this. I've been slurping my coffee and everything.
Yeah, it's all good.
You must remind me that. Mm.
It's "Life Is a Highway" by
Hmm.
Tom Cochrane. I think it's a great song. Life is a highway. You just got to ride it
Sure
all
is,
night
mate.
long.
We're on
And
the fast lane at the minute.
we're in the fast lane. Exactly right. So I hope you all enjoy that in the Spotify playlist.
Hmm.
And yeah, just enjoy, get the tunes on, feel good, happy, go lucky, pump up songs. So enjoy.
Excellent, excellent. Right, okay then. So random fact time,
Random
Maxie.
facts.
Mm-mm.
So we're both thinking alike here, Lee. My
Mm.
facts this week is about Parliament in general, and you've
Oh,
got a couple of facts about Queensland Parliament. So,
yeah, the beautiful Parliament House. So you go first.
okay, I've just got a couple here. So, the British Parliament's Palace of Westminster has over 1,000 rooms.
Wow.
The word Parliament comes from the French word parler, which means to talk.
Ah,
The longest continuously operating parliament is in Iceland, dating back to 930 AD.
wow.
This is an interesting one. The Parliament of New Zealand has one of the highest proportions of women members in the world, reaching nearly 50% in recent years.
Go New Zealand, just quietly.
This one I didn't realise. This one's a
Hmm.
pretty big one. The Parliament of India is the largest in the world with over 790 members.
Wow, that's a lot. Hmm.
And here we go. The oldest parliament in the Americas is the Parliament of Bermuda, established in 1620. There you go. It's pretty cool, eh?
Very cool.
Yeah.
Very
What are you?
cool.
What are some of your facts?
Well, I went to the building that we were in. We were talking about, the history and when you step in a building that is got so much history as that. And granted, as you just talking about some of the parliaments that and how old they are, Australia in comparison is very, very young. But as buildings go in Brisbane, Parliament House is absolutely beautiful. And I just thought, you know who drew it, who designed it. This was where I went. So it was designed by a gentleman called Charles Tiffin, who was the architect, and he did a lot of other buildings in around and lighthouses and lands office and lots of things different like this. But interestingly, and I thought this is very a cool little connection, actually. He was from Newcastle on Tyne,
There you go.
Newcastle upon Tyne in the UK, where we have done many, many work. We are ambassadors for South Shields, and we've stood and thrown you underneath the Tyne Bridge, basically, for the fire escape rescue out. So I thought that was like really, really cool. Obviously, he came out to Australia. He was born in the 1800s, came out to Australia. He'd worked on many, many different projects and made Brisbane his home. And what an absolutely beautiful building. And I thought it was very appropriate that our lovely friend in South Shields will be thrilled to know he's a Geordie.
There you go. How cool is that?
That's
It's
very
it is
cool.
a beautiful building. Walking around there, some of the old rooms and that. It's lovely.
Oh, the bookcases, and you know when you can just go in a building and you can just smell the
Smell it.
history.
Yeah.
The bookcases, it's just beautiful. And as I was looking up that research to find out who built it, and I thought, you know what, I'm gonna go. There is so much that you can do to go and actually learn about this in your own city. And I thought, you know what, I'm going to go and spend a day and see if I can get into, you can go in the gallery and you can watch and you can actually go on a tour. And I thought, these things are
Let's do it.
straight under our
Yeah.
nose, and so often we walk past them and we never, never like find out more about them. So I thought, you know what, I'm going to do that. I'm putting that on my list.
Sounds
There we
good.
go. Parliament and Parliament houses. So
Good
good random
stuff.
facts there, Maxie. So
All right.
right,
Wins of the week.
win of the week.
Yeah, so wins of the week this week, Lee. Obviously, you know, we're starting to build momentum for the February 29th event. We had Mr. Speaker talk about it in the Parliament House. We've got a number of tickets sold between the last podcast we've done.
Yep, we're up to nearly 70 people, I think, now are going to be in the room, close to.
Mm-hmm. The media wall that we've created, you've created, organised, is great. We tested it out the other day. It looks
Didn't
great.
it look fab? I was so
blue
happy.
with the little superhero emblem. It's awesome.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's just, I think it's going to be a great evening. I'm looking forward to it. I know there'll be a fireside chat with me, so there's not as much stress what you're probably feeling. But I think you'll nail it. I think the people that are in that room are going to hear the story, and it's going to pull a few heartstrings. I reckon it's going to be a nice evening, and hopefully we get we're already getting a lot of support, but get even more support, and people getting behind us and wanting to get involved even more deeply.
Absolutely. We've been given some amazing gifts. You know, our amazing friends at Dyson have donated a supersonic hairdryer for us again. We've been gifted a $2,000 yoga retreat. We've been gifted a incredible door prize from Sasha Drake, who is an amazing Brisbane designer. Our lawyers have got behind us. Mr. Speaker has organised us. We've got some signed jerseys from the Brisbane Roar, the Queensland Firebirds, the Brisbane Bullets. And if we don't use all of these on the night, because it is our first event, we can save some of these things for fundraising in the future. And it's just been a really, really humbling week of feeling the love, really, the support starting to come in, and the wave of people knowing that we're putting our necks on the line. And you know, this is not necessarily what we are, our first forte of what we're known for being good at. But you know what? We're being brave and having a go, and I reckon you know, who dares wins. And whilst I am very much feeling the pressure, and you know, not being well kind of adds to that. When I step back out of it and I look from the outside looking in, I think, you know what, we've got this. And I know that if there's two people that will make everyone in that room have a fun night, it's me and you, supported by the incredible Jack. So it's going to be great. Very, very excited and proud of us.
Moving on to reflection.
Yes.
I actually said this to Mr. Speaker the other day. I know this podcast has been a lot about Parliament and bits and pieces, but the reflection is, I remember probably 4, 5, maybe 6 years ago, we had a meeting with an MP in Parliament House. And I knew how excited we were that day just to be even speaking to one person. And, you know, in that meeting, it was a good meeting, but, you know, we still walked away scratching our heads, there's so much more we need to do and bits and pieces. But the fact that you can fast forward 4 or 5 years, being not just in a little side workshop room, we're in the actual Premier's room, we're showcasing Live, Learn, Survive. We stuck to our guns, and it's awesome to see how far we've come in 4 to 5 years. And like what's next? Ask her to be actually in the Parliament, you know, in Canberra. Who knows? I just think it's the sky's the ceiling. You just keep chipping away, and things happen. You just got to stay true to what you believe in, and you know, the mission of getting every kid the opportunity, and kid and young adult, to learn life skills, to help themselves, but help others too. We're definitely on the right path. And you know, doing the podcast yesterday with the Little Fish guys, you know, I nearly had them in tears and goosebumps, because you know, it does impact a lot of people, some of the stuff that we are doing for the good. And I think it's exciting to see the support and the sponsorships and the helping hands of people around the world, helping us achieve the goal of getting it into every kid's hands. And we'll get there.
Yeah, absolutely.
So it's getting a bit tongue twisted towards the end there, but it's awesome to see the support's coming through, and even if it's just one person, but the fact that a number of people have come forward to help us, it's very overwhelming, and it's really cool to see the
Absolutely.
support.
And you know what, I see, it's so well said. And you know what, it is when you speak from the heart, it's easy. You do just, it is, and it's incredibly humbling. And so some people may look at from the outside in and think, oh, it's kind of looked easy. Man, it has not been easy.
No.
We have battled and fought for every conversation. And when Mr. Speaker declared in the House today's Little Superheroes Day, I literally got chills. It was like, wow, because like you say, I remember how excited we were that day. We had one meeting and we were in there for like 25 minutes and we were like, this is progress. And then yesterday we're spoken about, Live and Inspire spoken about in the House. That's cool. I will take that in a million times. It did make me feel cured in a moment. So it's been a good week. So that, Maxie, leads perfectly into the rule.
The rule this week.
Ooh.
Yeah, the rule this week is just simple. 2 words: back yourself. Just back yourself.
Just back yourself.
Yeah, have your good days and bad days, but the good days do present, and the forces that be make things happen. Especially considering that we're going to be cancelling the Tuesday event on the Sunday.
Yeah.
And the fact that people have rallied in together to help us to make it happen. Things happen, and just back yourself.
Yeah, exactly. Well said, Maxie. And I don't think there can be, a better way of saying that.
Finishing the podcast on that.
Exactly.
For sure. Just back yourself.
And I think the next one is going to be the day after the event. So we're hoping, as with everything, there's been a little hiccup, but we're hoping we'll have a guest podcast next week. And then we are going to regroup together next to each other
next Friday
to
Friday week,
talk about what happened we're going to talk about last night, and we'll tell everybody what happened about it. So
and just a reminder to anyone that's listening, if you are in Brisbane around the 29th of Feb, the Hyatt Brisbane, jump online, Humanitix, get your tickets, come along to a great evening, fundraising event to creating little superheroes.
Yeah. And it's going to be a fun night. And tickets are in the links in all of our bios. And it's going to hopefully raise a lot of good stuff to raise funds for schools and do stuff for kids. So very, very exciting. So exactly, this time, this is going to go out this Friday, which is tomorrow.
Yep.
So 2 weeks is now, Maxie. You're going to be back at the airport, coming to Brisbane again.
Straight back into it. Love it.
Oh.
Love a flight.
Whoa, the nerves, the tummy will be going that day. The nerves will be going. I've got a tip for getting rid of adrenaline, so we can share that.
Share that for sure.
All right,
guys. Take care. Look after yourselves. Have a great weekend. Stay safe.
And thanks everyone too for subscribing on YouTube. We're noticing a lot of new subscribers. We really appreciate it.
Like and share.
Like and share, because that's what the young people tell us. Like and share, and we appreciate you having with us. So take care, everyone. Stay safe. Bye.